guys, it's Allison from the Young Entrepreneur Interview Series, and today I'm here with Erica. She owns her own business and actually creates all this beautiful glass artwork here. So she's going to explain how she started her business and how you can also start yours. So let's get into it. Erica, thank you so much for being here today.
Sure.
I love all the stuff that you're doing, all the artwork, but I wanted to first ask, how did you get your start? How did you first of all get the idea to start this business and then, you know, create it?
Well, I went to Penn State for psychology. I had a degree in psychology and I went for 4 years and I worked hard, and then after I got out of college, you know, being 21 and 22, thinking, well, what am I going to do with my life? So after that, I kind of took a couple different odd jobs and traveled the country a little bit and kind of wanted to have a focus. So I came back here to Lehigh Valley and went to a local staffing agency, and I wanted to find a creative kind of hands-on job because I was into art in high school, and they found me a job at a local glass warehouse, and I kind of fell in love with it. And they sent me all over the country to take glass fusing classes, and I learned all these different techniques, and I feel fortunate that, you know, I found the place and I found my passion just kind of by accident. So it was a neat thing. So
wow, that's really great.
Yeah.
Now, how did you kind of create everything? Do you have a business plan, or are you just kind of going?
Well, I went over to Lehigh University. They have the Small Business Network, I guess, and I kind of learned a little bit there. And my dad actually owns his own business, so he had given me a lot of advice, and he owns a successful business that he's had for about 15-20 years.
Wow.
So he had said, well, this is what worked for me, this is what didn't. So I feel fortunate I had him to be able to help me out. So
right. Now, how did you get the funding to start this?
Well, I started because I was at the glass warehouse. I kind of started my glass business while I was there and started selling things at different consignment shops and gift shops and that. But to start kind of investing in equipment and kilns, I was able to speak with my parents, and they had helped me out at the beginning, which was great. But now, you know, I'm fully independent, and, you know, I'm able to pay my bills, and I love what I do, so it's a great thing.
And that is great. Keep in mind, guys, that you can always get personal loans at the credit union. You don't have to just get a business loan. Like in your case, you don't need a business loan, but you still may need a different loan for odds and ends. So the credit union can always have the options for a personal loan for all of this great stuff here.
Yeah, definitely.
When did you actually start your business? How long has it been now?
I guess it's going to be 2 or 3 years in December.
Okay.
So it's only been a few years that I've started, but each year I notice that I'm doing better and better, which is a good thing, and I plan to keep with that trend.
Right. Now, have you noticed anything since the economy's been a little bit rough this year?
Well, kind of when I started was when the economy wasn't doing very well. So when I had done I do local craft shows, like for example, the Kutztown Folk Festival, which has been around forever. The first year that I did that, a lot of other people who had done it for 20 some years had said that was their worst year in all of the 20 years. So as they call what used to be the glory days, I unfortunately wasn't a business owner then, so I'm kind of used to, you know, I kind of gear my work around the economy. Right. So I'm able to make smaller price things, lower price things, because I know that's what people can spend now, and eventually when the economy picks back up, you know, I'll kind of gear my work around that.
And just kind of adapt your work a little bit.
Exactly. So that's what you have to do, you know, as an artist, as a business person, you have to be flexible and kind of work around what people want and what they'll spend their money on. So
now, where do you get the ideas to do all this stuff? I know you have all these different types of art.
I kind of do a little bit of everything. I have inspiration from, I still take classes. I'm constantly traveling. Like actually next week I'm going to Oklahoma, take classes there. I've taken classes in Vegas and in Florida because I learn new techniques, because with glass fusing, it's kind of a mix between stained glass and glass blowing, where it's considered warm glass versus hot or cold. And because it's so new, there's not a lot of, like, there's constantly new techniques and new products that are coming out. So I kind of want to keep one up on, you know, the industry. So
stay on the cutting edge of everything.
Definitely.
Great. So Erica, I wanted to see what you're doing in the present. Like, I know you have a lot of these pieces here. Do you have classes, or how are you kind of keeping, I know you said you go to a lot of different trade shows and things like that, but how are you really marketing your products and services? How are you doing this?
When I teach classes kind of all over the place. I taught a little bit at the Banana Factory in Bethlehem. I teach at Northampton Community College, the Fowler Center. I teach at the Goggle Works, which is another art center in Reading. And I teach private classes here, so I kind of market all my different classes at my shows and my shows at my classes, just to kind of advertise everything that I do, and I try to be a little more dynamic where I'm doing classes and doing shows, and I do some private work on the side and commissioned work, and I kind of just try to do as much as I can. And with the classes, it's a great thing because, like I said before, it's a relatively new medium,
right?
So not a lot of people are doing it, and I've sold a couple kilns. I became a kiln distributor recently because a lot of my students have invested in kilns and started making things on their own. So it's a really neat dynamic medium. So of course I'm a little biased, but I definitely love glass fusing. So
now, how does that kind of keep up? How do you kind of balance your personal life and then your work life? Because I know you said you have a lot of classes and you're pretty flexible with the timing, and then you also do trade shows and things like that.
Well, what's nice is because I am self-employed, I make my own hours,
right?
So I'm able to kind of be flexible with what I do. Like, I'm able to still go on vacations, with my boyfriend. We talk about it and we schedule it, but I just can't go during shows and during classes. But because I make my own schedule, I'm able to kind of do things as I choose. Of course, work, when you're self-employed and you're employed out of your home, it's kind of like work is never really over when you're here,
right? Even
on like weekends, but that's the kind of thing that you just have to have that understanding when you start a business and when you're working out of your home. But there are positives and negatives to everything. So
now I know you have a website as well. How did you get that all started?
Actually, I have a friend who helps me with my website. I've known her my whole life,
that
which
works.
is definitely. It's kind of like when you're in business, it's not really as much what you know, it's who you know.
Right.
So I try to network everywhere I go, and everyone I talk to. I find that if I'm polite and friendly with everyone, you never know if you're gonna maybe need them down the road to help you out, or you can help them out. I do a lot about bartering too, where I'm able to, because you're self-employed, like I barter with my hairstylist. I give her classes and she highlights my hair. So it's nice because when you're a business owner, you're able to do that. Right. Even with shows, I did pretty much all my Christmas shopping at Chris Kindle Mart, where I bartered, maybe some other artist likes my things and I like theirs. We barter. We don't have to deal about money or tax or anything, and it's just kind of like how it used to be. So
that is really nice. I know you have some gorgeous pieces here. Now, the other thing is, where do you get all your materials? I know you said you barter a little bit, but do you barter for the actual glass? Or how do
not really. That's more of kind of like an overhead cost with the glass. I get it at a local glass warehouse, Warner Crivellaro Stained Glass. So that's right in Allentown, which is nice. I feel fortunate that it's here because the next closest glass place like that is in like Michigan or New Jersey, or there's other places where there are. But fortunately, we live near one of the largest glass distributors pretty much on the East Coast. So that's where I used to work. So I have a wholesale account with them. So it's and I'm still friends with people who work there. So
you can pretty much choose whatever kind of glass you like. I know you have a lot of different colors of glass, so they're pretty flexible with that as well.
Yeah. I kind of just buy it in I buy it in large sheets. It's cheaper to buy in large sheets, and I cut it into smaller sheets for students and for classes. But I actually use a certain kind of glass. I always tell my students that because the glass that you use for stained glass and the glass you use for fusing are two different kinds. It's a coefficient of the glass, and that's the rate of expansion and contracting in the glass as it heats and cools. So you have to know to use the same glass. Like if I took a piece of a bottle, recycled bottle, and tried to fuse it with this, it would actually crack because there's heating and cooling at different rates. So it's a special kind of glass. So
that's very cool. So again, thank you so much. And what is the URL for people at home if they want to visit and buy your stuff? Where should they go?
It would be www.glassbyerica.com, and that's GLASSBYERICA.com. And I'm a local artist to the Lehigh Valley, so that's another nice thing to be able to buy local handmade artwork. So
yeah, she does a lot of stuff in the area, very involved with the community. So thank you again so much. Guys, if you have any questions, email us and we will definitely get back to you in an upcoming podcast or video, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.